John Gottman talks about emotional bids, and how we respond to those emotional bids directly correlates to the health and stability of our marriage. Think about this in the terms of a mixed faith marriage. A lot of times when a faith transition starts and there's now a mixed faith marriage, the prevalence of bids decreases and our positive responses to those bids decreases. So I want you to think about this. A lot of times they decrease because the topics that people want to connect on now become sensitive and tender areas. You know, if we want to connect on church history, that's not going to be very comfortable for both partners. If you want to connect on what your experience is around your faith transition, that might not be super comfortable with your partner. If they want to connect on what happened in fast and testimony meeting today, that may not be comfortable for some partners. Or if they want to connect on a spiritual experience they had, that may not be comfortable for some partners. So this is what I want you to think about in terms of emotional bids, so that you can still respond positively to your spouse's emotional bids regardless of the topic, regardless of whether they're talking about bearing their testimony in church today or whether they're talking about church history and their opinions about that. I want you to think about emotional bids not in the terms of the topic, you know, the testimony, church history, CS letter, whatever it may be. I want you to think about bids in terms of connection between you and somebody you love. The whole purpose of an emotional bid is to build connection, to give a positive emotional response. And what that can look like isn't I agree. It can just look like I hear you. This is important to you. It doesn't have to mean this is important to you, therefore I agree, and therefore I'm ignoring my beliefs and my integrity. It just means I hear what you're saying. This is something you're interested in, and I want to hear about it. That's a positive response to a bid. So think about when there's a bid offered in your relationship and it has to do with something about religion. I don't want you to get too tied up in the topic. I want you to think, this is an opportunity for me to connect emotionally with my spouse. Can I respond in a positive way so I can connect emotionally with my spouse? The topic is immaterial. You don't have to agree. You don't have to like the topic. It's just an opportunity to connect emotionally with your spouse. All right, this is Brooke Booth, a life coach for Mormons in a mixed faith marriage.